Hello all, good morning. Welcome to ILT Academy. Today we are going to learn two concepts called as what? Simple interest and compound interest. Now, what do you mean by simple interest and compound interest? Before that, let us understand like what are loans, what are the interest payments, and how this interest is going to work in human life. Now, suppose A is there, he has taken loan from B, okay, 1000 rupees, and interest rate is 10%. When interest rate is 10%, so the B is going to pay to A how much? 1000 into 10 upon 100, which is 100 rupees as interest for suppose 1 year. Now this 1 year interest 100 rupees is going to accumulate for over a period of time, like depending upon the terms and conditions. A has taken loan for from B 1000 rupees for 5 years. So 1 year interest was how much? 100. So 100 into 5, which is going to be how much? 500. 500 is what? Total interest to be paid by B to A. This is how simple interest is dealt. Now what is compound interest? Compound interest is more exponential, that we are going to do in the later part of this today's video. Compound interest is interest on interest. Now basically what is simple interest? Every year it is going to be same. Okay, clear? Once if I take 1000 rupees loan, 10% is the rate of interest. So 1000 into 10 upon 100, 0 0 cancel. So 100 is 1 year interest. Again year 2 interest also is going to be what? 100 only. Year 3 interest is also going to be what? 100 only. Year 4 interest is also going to be what? 100. Year 5 interest also is going to be what? 100. Now let us do with the simple interest exercise 4. Now let us understand simple interest concepts. First one is what? Simple interest. Basic formulas are what for this part? Simple interest is equal to PTR upon 100. Amount is equal to principal plus interest. Okay. Now first one. What is the question? Simple interest on 3500 for 3 years at 12% per annum is how much? Principal is how much? 3500, and rate of interest is 12%. Time is 3 years. Simple interest is equal to P into T into R upon 100, which is 3500 into time is 3 into 12 upon 100. 0 0 cancel. So what it is? 35 into 3 into 12, which is 105 into 12. 105 into 12 is how much? 1260 rupees. This is first one. Second one, principal is 5000, rate is 15%, time is 4.5 years. You need to find again interest. Interest is equal to P into T into R upon 100. Now principal is how much? 5000. Time is 4.5 years and rate is 15 upon 100. 0 0 cancel. So 50 into 4.5 into 15. Just 50 into 15 into 4.5. Just 3375. First one is 1260 and second one is 3375. Third one is, if P is equal to 5000 and D is equal to 1, interest is 300, then R will be what? Let us understand few formulas. Simple interest is equal to what? P into T into R upon 100. Now what if they ask for principal? What we need to do? Simple interest into 100 upon time into rate. Time is equal to what? Simple interest into 100 by principal into rate. Okay, rate is equal to simple interest into 100 divided by principal into time. These are the basic formulas. Now what is the third question? Principal is 5000, time is 1, rate of interest is what? So R is equal to simple interest into 100 divided by principal into time. So how much is the simple interest given in the question is 300 into 100 divided by principal is 5000 and time is 1 year. So which is 0 0 cancel, 0 cancel, 30 upon 5, which is 6. So rate is 6% per annum. The C option. Fourth one is if principal is 4,500 and amount is 7,200. So interest is equal to what? Amount minus principal, which is 7,200 minus 4,500, which is 2,700. Interest will be how much? Simple interest. Done. Principal is equal to 12,000, amount is equal to 16,500, and time is equal to 2.5 years. Rate percent per annum. Now, what is this? Rate is equal to nothing but simple interest into 100 divided by what? Principal into time. So, what is simple interest in this question? Amount is equal to 16,500 minus principal is equal to 12,000, which is 4,500 is the interest part, into 100 by principal into time. Principal is how much? 12,000. Time is 2.5 years, 2.5, which will give you R. This 4,500 200 divided by 12,000 divided by 2.5, is 15 years, 15%. Sorry. Sixth one is principal is 10,000. Interest is equal to 2,500. Rate is equal to 2.5%. Then find the time. Time is the question. So time is equal to simple interest into 100 divided by principal into the rate. Simple interest is equal to 2,500 into 100 divided by principal is 10,000. So rate is 12.5. 0 0 cancel, 0 0 cancel, which is 25 divided by 12.5, which is 2. Time is equal to 2 years. Now same question, seventh one. Principal is equal to 8,500. Amount is equal to 10,200. The rate is equal to 12.5%. Time will be what? Question mark. Interest is equal to what? Amount minus principal, which is 10,200 minus 8,500, which is 1,700. So time is equal to simple interest into 100 divided by principal into rate. So 1,700 into 100 divided by 8,500 into time. Rate is what? 12.5. So which is 1,700 into 100 divided by 8,500 divided by 12.5, which is 1.6 years. Now in this question we have got what? 1.6 years, but if you see the options, there is no 1.6 years. Here it is given 1 year 7 months, 2 years and 1.5 year respectively. So how to do this one? It is very simple. Now 1 indicate for what? Year, and 6 indicates for what? Months. So 0.6 into 12 months, which will give you what? 7.2. So now 7 indicates for what? Months. If you want to do, you can do with 2 for what? With respect to days. So 1 year 7 months is the answer. Any doubts? Got it? Please make a note of it. Now let us do the eighth one. Eighth one, what is the question? The sum required to earn a monthly interest of how much? 1200 at 18% per annum. Simple interest is how much? Now simple interest is equal to how much? 1200, and it is given that monthly interest. So 1 month is the time and rate of interest is 18%. Principal is equal to question mark. So principal is equal to what? Simple interest into 100 divided by what? This is sum divided by time into rate. So simple interest is how much? 1200 into 100 divided by time is what? 1 by 12 into 18. 6 2s are 6 3s are 1200 into 100 into 2 divided by 3. 3 1s are 400. So 400 into 100 into 2 is 80,000 rupees. That's it. Perfect, guys. Any doubts? Please make a note of this. देखो 9th वाला question. A sum of money amounts to 6,200 in 2 years and 7,400 in 3 years. Now let us understand this. 6,200 होने के लिए 2 years लगता and 7,400 होने के लिए 3 years लगता. Now let us understand one question. Okay, ये sum करने से पहले एक example करेंगे. Now I have taken 100 rupees as loan. Okay, and rate of interest is 10%. Can you tell me what is yearly interest? Year 1 का interest कितना रहता? 100 into 1 into 10 upon 100. So 100 cancel 10. Perfect. You know that what in simple interest the interest is going to be same always. So year 2 का कितना रहता? 100 into 1 into 10 divided by 100, which is again what? 10 only. If you don't do calculation also, we know that what? 10. Now after year 1, what is going to be the amount? 100 plus 10, which is 110. Now year 2 के बाद में amount कितना रहेगा? 110 plus 10, which is 120. Any doubts? So year 3 का भी क्या रहता? 10 rupees. फिर amount कितना रहेगा? 120 plus 10, 130. Now if you compare amount, no, every year क्या हो रहा? Amount बढ़ रहा. 110 से 120 हो गया, 120 से 130 हो गया. It is increasing with respect to what amount? Interest amount. So the difference in the amount is what? Interest. Now here also same thing. 6,200 से कितना हो गया? 7,400. So 6,200 से लेके 7,400 हो रहा बोले तो the difference is what? 1,200, which is 1 year interest. I got to know when 1 year interest. समझ में आया? 2 years और 3 years दिए यहाँ. अगर क्वेश्चन में 2 3 के सिवाय there were any other figures like 2 years and 5 years, no, you can divide the difference of amounts with difference of time, so that you will get what? 1 year rate of 1 year interest amount. Clear? Now I know 1 year interest amount. I know what is the formula. I want to calculate principal. So I into 100 divided by what? Time into rate. Okay, we don't even have a rate as well, right? 6,000. The principal, the rate of interest are what? Okay, now I can do one thing over here. Now 1200 is 1 year interest. Okay, so for 2 years what will be the interest? 2 into 1200, right, which is 2400. Now I know interest for 2 years, so amount minus interest will give me what? Principal. So amount is how much? 6,200 minus interest is how much? 2400. So principal is how much? 1,200 minus 2,400, 3,800 is the principal. I have got what? Principal. Now I need to find what? Principal आ गया 3,800. This is only interest, but we'll calculate that. I is equal to R is equal to I into 100 divided by principal into time. Now you can use any figure, your wish. I is equal to what? You can take 1,200 into 100 divided by principal is how much? 3,800 into 1 year. Clear? With this you will be getting what? 31.58%. Got it, ma? This is the question. Now last question. A sum of money double itself in 10 years. The number of years it will triple itself. So whenever these kind of questions, if you know, you need to take numerical examples. Okay. Here, how to do is, a sum of money doubles itself in 10 years. So principal, suppose it is 100. Then the amount will be how much? 100 is going to double itself. 200. Perfect. Right. Now it takes how many years? 10 years. यहाँ interest कितना मिल रहा? Amount minus principal, which is 200 minus 100, which is 100. ये 100 interest मिलने के लिए आपको time कितना लग रहा? 10 years. Now the question is, principal जो 100 है ना, amount is 300. The number of years it will triple itself is, time will be question mark here. So let us understand here I is equal to T into R upon 100. Now in this what we are having, 100 is interest, principal is also 100, time is 10 years, rate we don't know, R by 100, 100 cancel. So rate is equal to what, 100 upon 10. So 10 percentage is the rate. Now amount is 300 and principal is 100. So interest will be what, 200. ये 200 इंटरेस्ट आने के लिए टाइम कितना लगेगा, टाइम इज इक्वल टू व्हाट, सिंपल इंटरेस्ट इंटू 100 डिवाइड बाय प्रिंसिपल इंटू rate. So simple interest is 200 into 100 divided by principal is 100. Rate is what, 10. 0 0 cancel, 0 0 cancel. 2 into 10 is what, 20 years. So it will take what, 20 years of time. That's it. Any doubts here? Please note down. Now let us note down our second topic for the day, compound interest. Now what is the core difference of compound interest and simple interest? Let us understand. Simple interest how it is going to work and compound interest how it is going to work. Now simple interest में क्या होता बोले तो, generally simple interest is what, when you take 100 rupees loan and rate of interest is 10%. So for the first year, जब फर्स्ट ईयर में इंटरेस्ट कितना रहता है, सिंपल इंटरेस्ट इज इक्वल टू 100 इंटू 10%, 10 by 100 which is 0 0 cancel. So into 1 year समझ लो 10 rupees. 10 rupees is the rate of interest. 10 rupees is the amount of interest what you are going to pay. Now second year में क्या होता, same 10 rupees only you are going to pay. Same 100 into 10 by 100. Okay. Now third year also you are going to pay how much? Same 10 rupees. How the time increases? No, the interest is going to be uniform. That is called as simple interest. But compound interest का तरीका कैसा रहता बोले तो, now 100 rupees loan लिया and rate of interest is 10%. Clear? What is after 1 year, the interest amount will be 100 into 10 upon 100, which is 10 rupees as usual. Clear? But this principal amount is going to be changed for second year. The principal you are going to add with what, 100 plus 10. I am going to compound what, principal along with what, first year interest. So it is going to become 110 into 10 upon 100, 0 0 cancel. 11 rupees is second year interest. Now third year में क्या होता, तो ऑलरेडी प्रिंसिपल अक्यूमुलेट कितना हो गया था, 110. नाउ 110 को कितना ऐड करेंगे हम, 11, तो 121. Now 121 into 10 upon 100, this is the concept. So 121 divided by 10, 12.1 rupees. Now if you see, no, the interest is also growing by 10%. If you do in your calculator, 10 plus 10% कितना होता, 11. 11 is second year interest. Now 11 plus 10% करो calculator में कितना होता, 12.1. That is the interest for third year. Okay, the interest is going to be compounded. Interest is going to be compounded with what rate? Clear? Got it? Any doubts? This is the concept of what, compound interest. Please note down. Now the question comes is, like, what if they ask for what, 20 years का interest पूछे समझो, you are not going to calculate what, year 1 interest, year 2 interest, year 3 interest, year 4 interest, till dot 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 till year 20 तक करे तो क्या होता, it is a long process, you can't do the sum. So thereby we can drop few formulas for this. Okay, now compound interest, जैसे simple interest का formula क्या है, p into t into r upon 100. Similarly compound interest also we can bring the formula as p plus p into 1 plus r upon 100 whole power n. Now sometimes r by 100 can be represented as I also. So we can bring, this is the formula, p into 1 plus r by 100 whole power n minus 1. Now r by 100 can be represented as I also. So you can write like this as well, p into 1 plus I whole power n minus 1. This is the formula for compound interest. Number of years I'll tell. Amount is equal to principal plus compound interest. Clear? Principal plus compound interest. So we can drop one more formula, a is equal to p into 1 plus r by 100 whole power n. This is the formula. Now where r, p is what, principal amount, R is what? Rate of interest. N is equal to what? Number of years. So thereby what are the formulas? A is equal to P into 1 plus I whole power n. Clear? Ci is equal to, we can make one more formula, A minus P. This is one formula. Clear? Or else you can write like this, P into 1 plus I whole power n minus 1. These are the basic formulas for compound interest and amount. Okay, now let us understand what is effective rate of interest. Effective rate of interest, for now you just note down 1 plus I whole power n minus 1 is the formula. 1 plus I whole power n minus 1. So ये principal को हटा दिए तो we'll get what? Effective rate of interest. Clear? These are the both formulas what you need to learn for now. Clear? Not enough? Let us do the sums. This is 4B. Now this is our first question. अब देखो, what is principal? Principal is 1000 and R is equal to what? 5% per annum, and N is equal to what? 4 years. N is equal to what? 4 years. Now the question is, what is amount and what is compound interest? Now amount formula is what? P into 1 plus I whole power n. Now principal is how much? 1000. 1 plus I means what? R by 100, which is 5 by 100. Whole power n is what? 4 years. So 1000 into 1 plus 5 by 100 can be written as what? 0.05 whole power 4. So 1000 ले लो into 1.05 power 4. Now the question comes, like how to do 1.05 power 4. आप करो, आपका कैलकुलेटर ले लो, 1.05 into 1.05 you can type 1.05 into 1.05, right? Type is equal to, so you will get for how many years? 2 years already you will be getting, and in calculator you can see the digit as what? 3. So 4 years का चाहिए बोले तो you are not going to do again what? Multiplied by 1.05, ऐसा नहीं. So is equal to दबाओ, जब 5 नंबर आ जाता कैलकुलेटर में, what is the amount? 1.05 whole power 4, 1000 into 1.2115 2155. So 1.2155 into 1000 is how much? 1215.5. This is amount. Now what is compound interest? Compound interest, no need to do again a big formula. Simply you can do what? Amount minus principal. Compound interest or interest is what? The difference between amount and principal. Amount is what? 1215.5 minus principal is how much? 1000. ये हो जाता 215.5. Now amount is 1215.5 and interest is 215.5. Any doubts? The first sum. Got it? Now let us note down the second. What is the question? 100 will become after 20 years at 5% per annum compound interest of how much? 100 will become after 20 years 5% per annum compound interest of. Now amount formula is what? P into 1 plus I whole power n. So principal is how much? 100. 1 plus I is what? Rate by 100, which is 5 by 100. Whole power n is what? 20 years. So 100 into 1.05 whole power 20. Now 1.05 whole power 20 is how much? 1.05 into टाइप करो 21 आ जाना कैलकुलेटर में. हाँ, so 100 into 2.653. So if you multiply now, 2.653 into 100 is what? 265.3. Any doubts? Clear? This is amount. Now if you see, no, in the question they are asking for what? Compound interest kitna hota? So compound interest is equal to what? Amount minus principal. So amount is equal to 265.3 minus principal is equal to what? 100. So it is going to become 165.3. Any doubts? So option is what? C option. Now what is effective rate of interest corresponding to a nominal rate 3% per annum payable half yearly? Now what did I tell you? Effective rate of interest formula is what? 1 plus I whole power n minus 1. This is a formula. This is a formula. Now 1 plus 3 by 100 whole power n. N always is going to be 1 year minus 1. This is the basic thing. But in the question they are telling what? Payable half yearly. Payable half yearly means what? It is going to be compounded half year basis. So till now what I have taught you is compounded yearly. Now whenever the question tells you like compounded half yearly, compounded monthly, compounded semi annually, compounded quarterly, in that case what we need to do means you need to multiply n and this 100 part with how many times it is going to be compounded in a year. Okay, now it is going to be compounded half yearly, so in 1 year how many times it is going to be compounded? 2 times, into 2 into 2, so into 2 into 2, so it is going to become 1 plus 3 by 200 2 minus 1 here. Now just do 3 by 200 is what? 0. So 1 plus 0.015 whole power 2 minus 1, this you need to do. Now this is nothing but what? 1.015 whole square minus 1. Now if you multiply this, now 1.015 into 2, 1.015 into 1.015, 1.0225 minus 1, which is 0.030225. This is effective rate of interest. But if you see, no, it is not given. Here it is given in the form of what? Normal number. We need to convert into percentage. How to convert that into percentage? You need to just multiply with 100 so that it will be converted into percentage, which is 3.0225%. This is how we need to understand effective rate of interest. Got it? Now only core thing here is what? Compounded half yearly it is given means in an year how many times it is going to be compounded, that should be multiplied with what? Time and this 100 part. Clear? Every time you need to do like this only. Clear? Got it? Now just note down this one. Now let us do the fourth one. A machine is depreciated at a rate of how much? 20% on reducing balance the original cost. Wait, let us skip this fourth sum. We'll do fifth, sixth. Afterwards, we are going to do all the word problems at the same time. Now let us understand fifth one so that we'll be more flexible with compound interest calculations. Now you do fifth one. Now what is fifth one? If amount is equal to 1000, n is equal to 2 years. Now r is equal to 6% per annum. Compound interest half yearly, payable half yearly. Payable half yearly means what? Compounded half yearly. Then principal is how much? So we know that amount is equal to P into 1 plus R upon 100 whole power n. So amount is equal to what? 1000. And principal we don't know. 1 plus R is what? 6 upon 100 whole power n is what? 2. Now they are telling what? Compounded half yearly. So you are going to multiply with 2 and you are going to multiply with 2. So 1000 is equal to principal into 1 plus 6 upon 200 whole power 4. So 1000 is equal to principal into 1 plus 6 upon 200 will be what? 0.03, right? 0.03 power 4. Now, so 1000 is equal to principal into 1.03 whole power 4. 1.03 power 4 कितना आ रहा है? So principal is equal to 1000 divided by 1.1255. तो 1000 डिवाइड बाय 1.1255 कितना होता? 1000 divided by 1.12. 1000 divided by 1.1255. 998. It should be 888.5. Let me check that. Got it, ma? 888.5 here. Now let us do the sixth one. Sixth one also is a word problem. So 4,6 we'll do later. Now seventh one, see, little important. Compound interest and simple interest. The difference between compound and interest and simple interest on a certain sum of money invested for 3 years at 6% per annum is 110.16. Then the principal is how much? The difference between the compound and interest and simple interest. Difference है compound interest minus simple interest is equal to 110.16. Now how to do that? Time is given as 3 years. The rate is given as 6% per annum. Now we need to find what? Principal. So how to find that? What is the formula for compound interest? Amount minus principal minus simple interest formula is what? ETR upon 100. The difference is what? 110.16. Now amount formula is what? P into 1 plus I whole power n minus P minus PTR upon 100 is equal to what? 110.16. Now we can multiply into 1 plus I is what? 6 upon 100 power 3 minus principal into time is 3. Rate is what? 6 upon 100 equal to 110.16. So P into 1.06 whole cube minus P into 18 upon 100 is equal to 110.16. You take P common, no? 1.06 whole cube is what? Huh? No. 1.06 to 1.06 into 3 only. Whole cube means 3. 4 number आना. 1.06 into करके 1.191 minus 1 minus 18 by 100 is what? 0.18 equal to 110.16. So P into, आप कैलकुलेटर में कर लो, 1.191 minus 1 minus 0.18 0. Equal to 110.16. So is equal to 110.16 divided by 0.71. हाँ 10,000 आना. Here you didn't. Wait one second. Wait one second. 1.19106. This is 0106. Okay. Now the P into 1.19016 minus 1. If I take P common minus 0.18 is equal to what? 110.16. So P यहाँ क्या आता? 1.19106 minus 1 minus 0.18. 0.11016 is equal to 110.16. Now principal is equal to 110.16 divided by 0.011016. Now आता 10,000 आना चाहिए. So 10,000 is the answer. Got it? Please note down this. Now let us
Do the next sum. Now ninth one directly. What is the question? Ninth one. The effective rate of interest corresponding to a nominal rate of 7% per annum convertible quarterly is what? Now what is the formula for effective rate of interest? 1 plus I whole power n minus 1. So 1 plus I is what? 8 by 100, which is 7 by 100. Whole power n is always what? 1 year minus 1. And they are telling compounded quarterly. Now once it is compounded quarterly, so how many times it is going to be compounded in a year? 4 times. So into 4 into 4, that will be 1 plus 7 by 400 whole power 4 minus 1. Got it? 1 plus 7 by 400 power 4 minus 1 is 1 plus, what is 7 by 400? 0.0175 whole power 4 minus 1 is 1.0175 whole power 4 minus 1. You can do directly. Final answer you tell me. 1.017 minus 1 is 0.71859. Now we know already this is in decimal, so we need to convert this into percentage, means you need to do what? Multiply with 100. So 7.18%. Got it? Any doubts? Let us understand next one. The compound interest on compound interest on 16,000 for 1.5 years at 10% per annum payable half yearly is. On 16,000, time is 1.5 years, rate is 10%, payable half yearly. Compound interest we need to find. This is not compound interest, this is principal amount. So amount is equal to P into 1 plus I whole power n, which is 16,000 into 1 plus rate is what? 10 upon 100 whole power. Time is what? 1.5. Now here in the question they are telling payable half yearly. So payable half yearly means how many times we need to compound? 2 times into 2. So 16,000 into 1 plus 10 divided by 200 whole power 3. So 16,000 into 10 divided by 200 is what? 0.05 whole cube. So 16,000 into 1.05 whole cube. Now 1.05 whole cube is how much? 1.5. ये मल्टीप्लाई करो, 10,000 into 1.158522. Now ये हो गया amount. Now they are asking only to find what? Compound interest. Amount minus principal. This is 18522 minus 16,000. 2522. Any doubts? No doubt. Now let us follow the next one. 11th one. What is the question? Compound interest on 40,000 at 10% per annum 1 year when interest is payable quarterly. Same format now. Amount is equal to, sorry, principal is equal to 40,000, rate is equal to 10%, time is equal to 1 year, compound interest. So amount is equal to P into 1 plus R upon 100 whole power n. Principal is 40,000, 1 plus rate is 10 by 100 whole power 1 year, but it is told that what? Compounded quarterly, so we need to multiply with 4. We need to multiply with 4. So 40,000 into 1 plus 10 by 400 whole power 4. 0 0 cancel. So 40,000 into 1 plus 1 by 40 is how much? 0.025 whole power 4. So 40,000 into 1.025 whole power 4. ये कितना हो गया? 1.025 whole power 1.1038128. ये मल्टीप्लाई कर लिया तो 40,000 इंटू 40,000 है 4415 2.515. Now same, the question is not for amount, the question is for compound interest. So amount minus principal we need to do, which is 44152.515 minus 40,000. It will be how much? 4152.5. Any doubts? This is the answer, 4152.51. Got it? Is not done. Got it? Now its 11th one is done. Now let us continue with the 12th one. The difference between the simple interest and the compound interest on 2400 for 2 years at 5% per annum is. Now this is basic question. You need to find the difference between the compound interest and simple interest for 2400 for 2 years at 5% per annum. Now let us do our simple interest again. Very easy. Simple interest is equal to P into T into R upon 100. Yes, principal is how much? 2400. Time is 2 years. Rate is 5 upon 100. 0 0 cancel. 24 into 2 into 5, which is 2 5 is 10. 10 into 24 is 240 rupees. ये हो गया सिंपल इंटरेस्ट. नाउ कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट कैलकुलेट करना बोले तो क्या करना है? अमाउंट माइनस प्रिंसिपल. so amount is equal to what? P into 1 plus I whole power n. So 2400 into 1 plus rate is what? 5 upon 100 whole power 2. This is 2400 1 plus 0.05 whole square. 400 into 1.05 whole square. 1.05 whole square कितना होगा? 1.1025. ओके, ये मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया था इंटू 2400 6. Therefore compound interest is equal to amount minus principal, 46 minus 2400, which is 246. So you can multiply the difference between the compound interest and interest is how much? 6 rupees different is equal to compound interest minus simple interest, 246 minus 240. Got it? Any doubts? Now let us do 14th one finally. Please note down. Now let us note down this. 14th question, the compound interest on 4000 for 6 months at 12% per annum payable quarterly. P into 1 plus I whole power n. So principal is how much? 4000. Rate of interest is how much? 12 by 100. N is what? 6 months. Months is nothing but 6 by 12. And it is payable quarterly. How many times? 4 times. 4000 into 1 plus 12 upon 400. 1 the 6 2. 1 the 2 2. So 2. So 12 divided by 400 is how much? 0.03 whole square. So 4000 into 1.03 whole square. 4000 into 1.09. This is how much? Formula from 4240. So compound interest is equal to amount minus principal. This 4240 minus 4000 is only 240. 1.0609 into 4000. Wait one second. Now Seema, there is a this is 4243.6. So 43.6. This is 4243 minus 4000, which is 243.6 compound interest, and this is what near A option, not B option. Now let us focus on this word problems. Now before doing word problems, now I want to explain you a small theory. Now how does the compound interest works? Compound interest is equal to amount minus principal, whereas amount is equal to P into 1 plus I whole power n. This is the way. So now what is this I going to represent? I is going to represent as what? Growth rate. Clear? So how the principal is going to grow? मतलब 10,000 आज मैंने लोन दिया. Okay? So it will accumulate with what? Interest. So the person needs to pay what? More. Okay? The person who is going to receive, he will be receiving more. Clear? This is growth. Growth rate. I is what? Growth rate. And N is what? Number of years it will be growing. Okay? It depends upon what the terms in the question. Okay? Principal, finally it is going to be turned into what? Amount, which includes what? Principal as well as interest. समझ में आया? ये है basic formulas. Here compound interest is what? With that growth rate, how much is the difference between the principal and amount is called as what? Compound interest. Clear? समझ में आया? ये एक case है. This is in the case of what? Growth. But it is always not true that what? It is going to grow only. It is going to reduce also. Okay? Now in the case of reduction. Okay? कब होता? आप एक asset ले रहे हो. Okay? Asset का cost क्या हो जाता? कम होते जाता. Here in the case of machinery, let us assume in the case of machinery, we need to understand few things. One part is cost, and another one is depreciation, and another one is scrap value. Clear? Now this is opposite to what? Growth case. Clear? यहाँ क्या होता बोले तो कॉस्ट, मैं एक 10,000 से मशीनरी खरीदूंगा, उसके ऊपर डिप्रिसिएशन लगा रहा हूँ 10%. Now this is not straight line method. Straight line method means what? You can use directly simple interest, but this is what? Compound interest basis per, मतलब WDV method. In the case of WDV method, so the depreciation is not going to be uniform. It is going to be reduced per annum on WDV. Clear? Return on value. तो 10% का depreciation निकाल रहा हूँ मैं. Clear? 10% when I remove depreciation, no, 10,000 minus 10% is what? 9,000 for first year. Again if I remove 10%, 8,100. वैसे कम होते it will lead to what? Scrap value one day. Clear? So after a particular tenure of time, so the cost is going to be converted into what? Scrap value. So here also after a particular tenure of time, the principal is going to be turned into what? Amount. So यहाँ scrap value is equal to what? Cost of machine into 1 minus depreciation rate upon 100 whole power n. Here this is the formula. Scrap value is equal to this. Sir, then how I will get the depreciation? Depreciation is nothing but compound interest. So cost minus scrap value will give you what? Depreciation. Clear? Any doubts? Got it? These are the two topics. Let us understand and make a note of. Now this is the formula for what? Growth के केसेस में हम ये फार्मूला यूज करेंगे एंड डेप्रिसिएशन के केसेस में ये फार्मूला यूज करेंगे हम. Here let us focus on the question. Now 13th one, reverse we can follow the word problems, not an issue. 13th वाला क्वेश्चन क्या है बोले तो, now the annual birth and death rates as per 1000 are 39.4 and 19.4 respectively. The number of years in which the population will be doubled assuming that there is no immigration or not emigration is. इसका मतलब देखो, the question present population is how much? 1000. So it is growing like what? 1000 every year. क्या होंगे? 39.4 births होंगे. तो population कितना हो जाएगा? 1039.4. Now not only birth but there is taking a case of what? 19.4 of death. तो ये कितना हो जाएगा? 1039.4 minus 19.4 which is 1020. Clear? Understand? This is what? The growth. Okay, after growth. Okay, 1000 से कितना हो रहा? 1020 after 1 year. So what is the growth amount in the population? 20. So which is 20 upon 1000 into 100. So when we do like this now, we'll get what? 2%. So every year the population is growing how much? 2%. Now our question is, in how many years it is going to be doubled itself? So the population 1000 से क्या होना है? 2000 होना है. कितने साल में होता? Now we know now formula, amount is equal to principal into 1 plus I whole power n. So amount of population is how much? 2000 is the expected population and current population is how much? 1000 into 1 plus I 2 upon 100 whole power n. Now generally you would do what? Number of years मालूम हुआ तो ये करते थे, but अभी नहीं मालूम ना. 2000 divided by what? 1000. This 1000 you can take here. This is 1.02 whole power n. ये cancel. So 2 is equal to 1.02 whole power n. अब कैसे करेंगे? Number of years how we will calculate? Now for doing this now we are having logarithm technique, but exam में उतना time नहीं रहता log करके anti log करके find करने के लिए. So what we can do here is options verification we can do. Now options हमारे पास क्या है? 25 years, 30 years, 35 years. So we are having 25 years, 30 years and 35 years. So n place में 25 नको डालो. What you need to do here is, now 1.02 you take in your calculator, into करो, is equal to type करते जाओ, at the point of 26 check whether it is true or not. (1.64) at the point of 26, मतलब 25 years का कितना हो रहा? 1.64. now next option क्या है? 30 पर चेक कर लो. 31, हाँ that is what 30 means 31. ये भी नहीं होता. so next option क्या है? 35. 1.99 is approximately how much? 2. So that is suitable at what? 35 years. That's it. Got it. समझ में आया? 35 डाले तो आंसर आ जाता. So n is equal to what? You substitute 35, you will get the answer. Got it, ma? तो फिर से एक बार ये समझा रहा हूँ. देखो now पहले population कितना था? 1000. So every year the births are 39.4 and deaths are 19.4. तो ग्रोथ आके कितना हो गया? 1020 इज द नेक्स्ट ईयर पॉपुलेशन. सो 1 ईयर में क्या हो रहा? 1000 से 1020 हो रहा. तो ग्रोथ इज हाउ मच? 20. तो 20 अपॉन 1000 इंटू 100 इफ यू डू नो यू विल गेट 2%. सो 1000 से 2% बढ़ा तो कितना होता? 1020 होता. तो वो 2% यू आर गोइंग टू पुट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ रेट एंड नंबर ऑफ ईयर्स यू डोंट नो. 1000 into 1 plus 2 by 100 whole power n. Any doubts? Clear? Got it? That's it. This is how we need to do this sum. एथ वाला करने, एथ वाला, फोर्थ वाला, सिक्स्थ वाला. नाउ लेट अस focus on the eighth sum. एथ वाला क्वेश्चन क्या है? द यूजफुल लाइफ ऑफ अ मशीन इज एस्टिमेटेड टू बी 10 years. so given time is equal to what? 10 years. नेक्स्ट क्या दिया हमें? कॉस्ट इज 10,000. rate of depreciation is 10. percent. Now the scrap value at the end of time is, scrap value is question mark. Now what is scrap value? Scrap value is nothing but amount बोल के बोला ना मैं, and formula में भी क्या रहता, minus रहता, that is the difference. So scrap value is equal to cost into 1 minus depreciation rate upon 100 whole power n. So scrap value we are finding, cost of machinery is 10,000 and 1 minus rate is what, 10 upon 100 whole power n is what, 10 years. So this is going to become 10,000 into 0.90, which is 1 minus 0.10, which is 0.90 whole power 10. So first you do 0.90 whole power 10 into 10,000. So 10,000 into 0. ओके, तो ये कितना हो जाता, 0.478, 0.90 whole power 10. It's not 0.4782. It is how much, ma? 348. Fine. 0.3486. So when you multiply, it is how much? 3,486. This is the scrap value, and this you can see over here. A option 3,486.78. Here, any doubts? Got it? Now let us do fourth and sixth one. Sixth wala dekhenge. Now please note down this. Tanma with this question. Now let us do this sixth one. Now what is the thing? The population of a town increases every year by how much? 2% of the population. So let us suppose 100 is the population. It is growing with what? 2%. Now what is happening? In the beginning of that year, the number of years by which the total increases by how much? 40%. 40% कब होगा? 40% बढ़ना बोले तो कितना होता? 100 plus 40% is how much? 140 is what? Amount. So amount is equal to P into 1 plus I whole power n. So 140 होने का है, 100 is the principal and 1 plus is growing at what? 2 by 100. Now again n we don't know. So ये 100 यहाँ ला लो, 140 divided by 100 is equal to 1.02 whole power n. 2 by 100 is 0.02. 0.202 plus 1 is 1.02 whole power n. Now 140 divided by 100 is what? 1.4. Now we don't have that much time to do what? Logarithms and anti-logarithms in the exam. So what you can do over here is, first option is what? 7, 10, 17 approximately. 7 पर check करो, 17 पर check करो. 7 पर कितना हो रहा? नहीं आ रहा. तो 10 पर check करो, 1.21. यहाँ भी नहीं आ रहा. Next 17 पर 1.4. So 1.4 is equal to 1.4 at n is equal to 17 years. That is, यहाँ देखो approximately बोल. Clear ना? Any doubts? Just note down this. Now see, ma'am. A machine is depreciated at a rate of 20% on reducing balance method. So WDV method में 20% आ रहा. Depreciation rate is 20. Original cost of machine how much? 1 lakh. Now and its ultimate scrap value is how much? 30,000. So effective life of machine is what? Time is question mark. So what is this? Machine is depreciated. Same formula मालूम है ना? Original cost is given and scrap value is given. So amount is equal to P into 1 minus I power n. Amount is nothing but what? Scrap value. कितना? 30,000. And principal is how much? 1 lakh. And 1 minus rate is how much? 20 upon 100. Whole power n is what? Don't know. Here तो ये क्या करेंगे हम 30,000 डिवाइड बाई 1 lakh इक्वल टू 1 minus 0.20 whole power n. So 3 by 10 is 0.30. What 0.80 whole power n number of years. चेक फर्स्ट क्या है 4.5 ऑप्शन पर चेक करना. तो 4 और 5 के बीच में चेक करो, इसके बीच में ही वैल्यू है तो 4.5 हो जाता. 4 पर आंसर कितना आ रहा? हाँ, लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड. 4 पर आंसर 0.40 आ रहा. 5 पर कितना आ रहा? 0.32. तो इट इज़ नॉट इन बिटवीन दिस. क्लियर? तो ये नहीं हो सकता. नेक्स्ट 6 पर ऑप्शन कितना आ रहा? 0.26. So it is in between of what 5 and 6. So answer is what 5.4 years. Clear? N is equal to 5.4 year. 4 years पर आप चेक करें तो 0.40 आ रहा. क्या 5 years पर चेक करें तो 0.32 आ रहा. तो 6 years पर 0.26. So it is in between of 5 and 6. So 5.4 years is the answer. Clear? Any doubts, ma? Need to understand it. Got it? Thank you.